Get ready because the news cycle is absolutely exploding today, and we've got the must-know updates that you cannot afford to miss. From blockbuster films facing serious backlash to surprising twists in the world of entertainment, it's all happening right now. You're tuned into Tom Spotlight, where we break down the biggest stories with the energy you crave. Stick around, because you're about to get the inside scoop on what's making waves across the globe. Let's dive in. First up, we're talking about a major new film that's already generating serious buzz, but not entirely for the reasons the filmmakers might have hoped. This star-studded production, featuring some of Hollywood's biggest names, is finding itself in hot water with a prominent allergy charity over a scene that's being called dangerous and irresponsible. We're going to unpack exactly what's in the movie that has everyone talking and what the experts are saying about the potential impact of this on-screen depiction. Get ready for the details. Next, we're shifting gears to another cinematic event that's capturing attention, but this time, it's all about the explosive dynamics of relationships pushed to the absolute limit. We'll explore a film that's being compared to a classic, examining how it tackles the complexities of marriage with a darkly comedic edge. What happens when love turns to rivalry, and how does this new take on a familiar theme resonate with audiences? We've got the breakdown on this highly anticipated release. Then, we're diving deep into the critical reception of this same film, looking at what critics are saying about the performances and the storytelling. Is it a hit or a miss? We'll get into the nitty-gritty of the reviews, exploring the highs and lows of this cinematic offering. Plus, we've got a glimpse into the creative process, with some behind-the-scenes insights from the stars themselves. You won't want to miss this. Finally, we're bringing you the latest on a film that's being hailed for its performances, but questioned for its impact. Is it a sharp satire or a missed opportunity? We'll dissect the commentary, weigh the critical opinions, and see how this movie is playing with audiences. It's a story about ambition, love, and the often unpredictable journey of a marriage. All that and more coming up next. Don't go anywhere. Make sure you're subscribed, hit that notification bell, and smash that like button so you never miss an update. A dangerous scene sparks outrage. Get ready for a cinematic controversy that's sending shockwaves through Hollywood and allergy advocacy groups alike. The highly anticipated new film, The Roses, starring acclaimed actors Benedict Cumberbatch and Olivia Colman, is finding itself under intense scrutiny for a particular scene that an allergy charity has deemed dangerous and irresponsible. The Natasha Allergy Research Foundation has issued a strong statement, expressing their shock and surprise at the film's depiction of a character's severe raspberry allergy, which is exploited for dramatic and comedic effect on multiple occasions. This isn't just a minor plot point. The foundation is particularly concerned about the withholding of an EpiPen or adrenaline autoinjector, AAI, from a character experiencing a severe allergic reaction. They emphasize that such an act is not only dangerous, but also grossly misleading. The foundation also pointed out significant inaccuracies in how the EpiPen was administered in the film, stating it should be injected into the outer thigh, not the arm, and that the portrayal incorrectly suggests life can simply go on as normal after an injection. This misinformation, they argue, could have harmful consequences for individuals with allergies. The film, a remake of the 1989 classic, The War of the Roses, directed by Jay Roach, has been praised by some critics for its performances, with The Independent highlighting Cumberbatch and Colman as relentlessly entertaining. However, this controversy raises critical questions about the responsibility of filmmakers when depicting sensitive health issues. The Natasha Allergy Research Foundation has reportedly reached out to the film's producers for a response, but as of now, none has been received. The situation highlights a growing tension between artistic license and the potential real-world impact of on-screen content, especially when it involves health and safety. The public reaction is likely to be divided, with some defending the film's artistic intent and others echoing the concerns of the Allergy Foundation. This development adds a significant layer of discussion to the film's release, moving beyond its critical reception to address broader societal responsibilities in media. Now, as we unpack this controversial scene, prepare for a shift in tone as we explore another film that delves into the tumultuous landscape of relationships, pushing the boundaries of romantic comedy to new, darkly humorous extremes. When Love Becomes War, a darkly comedic remake. Prepare to revisit the cinematic battlefield of troubled relationships with the Roses, a modern reimagining of the classic 1989 film, The War of the Roses. This new iteration, helmed by director Jay Roach, known for his comedic timing in films like Meet the Parents, stars the formidable duo of Benedict Cumberbatch and Olivia Colman as Theo and Ivy Rose. The film plunges into the tumultuous journey of a marriage that begins with promise but gradually deteriorates into a bitter conflict, echoing the infamous dynamic of its predecessor. The narrative centers on Theo, an architect, and Ivy, a gourmet chef, who build a seemingly idyllic life in Mendocino, California, raising their 2 children. However, a series of unforeseen vocational setbacks for both Theo and Ivy sow the seeds of resentment, transforming their once loving partnership into a battleground of escalating animosity. The script, penned by Tony McNamara, the acclaimed writer behind Poor Things, infuses the story with his signature acerbic wit and sharp dialogue, making the verbal sparring between Cumberbatch and Colman a true highlight. Critics have lauded their performances, with The Independent praising their relentlessly entertaining chemistry and their ability to navigate the extremes of desire and disgust within their characters' relationship. The film is noted for its dexterity in tethering these intense emotions, offering a darkly humorous commentary on the fragility of wedded bliss. Supporting performances from SNL alums Andy Samberg and Kate McKinnon, as well as Allison Janney and Ncuti Gatwa, add further depth and comedic flair to the ensemble. While the film is described as a deliciously nasty box of bonbons and bon mots, it's also recognized as being somewhat softer in its overall tone than the original 1989 film. It serves as a cautionary tale about the ephemeral nature of marriage, suggesting it might not be the ideal choice for a date night if one wishes to avoid awkward conversations. The film's exploration of how love can devolve into a destructive rivalry, with the children often caught in the crossfire, provides ample material for discussion on the complexities of modern relationships. The blend of high-caliber acting, sharp writing, and a compelling, albeit dark, premise makes The Roses a significant entry in the genre of relationship-focused Black comedies. But before we delve deeper into the critical reception of The Roses, let's consider the broader impact of these cinematic portrayals and how they resonate with audiences and critics alike. Stay with us. Critically acclaimed performances, contentious depictions. In the realm of cinematic reviews, The Roses is garnering significant attention, particularly for the powerhouse performances of its lead actors, Benedict Cumberbatch and Olivia Colman. Critics have widely acknowledged their talent, with many highlighting their ability to bring depth and nuance to the complex, often volatile, relationship between Theo and Ivy Rose. The Independent critic Clarice Luffrey championed their performances, describing them as relentlessly entertaining and noting the real dexterity with which they portray the extremes of desire and disgust. The film's screenplay, adapted by Tony McNamara, is also a frequent subject of praise for its sharp, acerbic dialogue, a hallmark of his previous work like Poor Things. This wit, delivered by Cumberbatch and Colman, is seen as a major strength, offering moments of dark humor and biting commentary on marital discord. However, the critical reception is not without its reservations. Some reviews suggest that while the performances are captivating, the film itself lacks a certain bite compared to its source material, the 1989 film, The War of the Roses. For instance, one review notes that the malicious tone of the source material is softened, leading to situations that, while potentially dramatic, are depicted in a way that lessens their impact, making them feel more like a skirmish than a full-blown war. The portrayal of intense marital conflict, including scenes involving a character's severe allergy and the withholding of an EpiPen, has also drawn criticism from allergy advocacy groups, who deem these depictions irresponsible and potentially harmful due to inaccuracies in the administration of the life-saving device. This controversy adds a layer of complexity to the film's reception, juxtaposing artistic critique with concerns about public health messaging. Despite these criticisms, the film is generally appreciated for its sophisticated humor and the compelling on-screen chemistry between its leads, even if that chemistry isn't always convincing as a romantic pairing. The visual appeal of the cinematography is also often mentioned as a positive aspect. The film's exploration of marital breakdown, ambition, and jealousy, set against the backdrop of career successes and failures, provides rich material for analysis. Though some critics feel the director, Jay Roach, might not have been the ideal choice for such an edgy story, suggesting that a collaboration with Yorgos Lanthimos could have resulted in a darker, more impactful comedy. Ultimately, The Roses is seen as an enjoyable watch due to its stellar cast and witty dialogue, but it leaves some viewers wishing for a sharper, more daring exploration of its themes. As we continue to dissect the critical landscape surrounding The Roses, prepare for a look at another film that also tackles relationship dynamics, but with a distinctly different comedic approach. Stay tuned. A Tale of Two Marriages, Wit, Charm, and a Lack of Bite. In the latest cinematic offerings, The Roses emerges as a film that skillfully blends sharp dialogue with compelling performances, yet leaves some critics yearning for a more potent narrative edge. Directed by Jay Roach, this remake of The War of the Roses stars Benedict Cumberbatch and Olivia Colman as Theo and Ivy Rose, a couple whose marriage navigates the treacherous waters of escalating conflict. The film is lauded for its witty exchanges, largely thanks to screenwriter Tony McNamara, whose signature style is evident in the biting repartee that defines the couple's interactions. Cumberbatch and Colman, both celebrated for their dramatic prowess, also showcase their comedic talents, delivering lines with a precision that makes their verbal jousting a primary source of entertainment. The narrative traces the couple's journey from a promising beginning to a bitter end, mirroring the themes of the original film, but with a contemporary sensibility. While the performances are undoubtedly a draw, with critics praising the actors' ability to capture the complexities of a disintegrating marriage, some reviews suggest that the film plays it too safe. The sharp edges of marital warfare, which characterized the 1989 version, are somewhat blunted here, leading to a perception that the film, despite its clever writing, lacks a crucial element of danger or consequence. This perceived softening extends to certain plot points, including a scene involving a severe food allergy and the withholding of an EpiPen, which has drawn criticism from allergy advocacy groups for its inaccuracies and potentially harmful portrayal. These critiques highlight a broader discussion about the responsibility of filmmakers when depicting sensitive health issues. The film also features a strong supporting cast, including Andy Samberg and Kate McKinnon, who add their comedic talents to the mix. Despite these elements, the overall consensus among some critics is that while The Roses is an enjoyable watch, particularly for its dialogue and the chemistry between Cumberbatch and Colman, it ultimately falls short of the raw, unsparing intensity that made the original a classic. It's described as a film that offers plenty to say about romance, desire, loyalty, and the pitfalls of marriage, but perhaps with a gentler touch than the subject matter might suggest. The cinematography is noted for its visual appeal, and the film's exploration of ambition and jealousy provides a compelling, if at times understated, study of a relationship under duress. As we wrap up our look at The Roses, we'll be bringing you a quick recap of all the day's top stories, so stay tuned for the final rundown. And that's a wrap on today's explosive news. We saw Benedict Cumberbatch and Olivia Colman's new film, The Roses, face backlash over a controversial EpiPen scene. We also explored the film's darkly comedic take on marriage, its critical reception highlighting stellar performances but a lack of original bite, and the behind-the-scenes insights from the cast. It's been a wild ride through the world of cinema and beyond. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Tom's Spotlight for all your essential updates, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a beat. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and follow us on all social media platforms to stay connected. We'll see you next time.